happy Easter. I wasn't sure that I was going to have time to film my weekly wrap up today, but I don't have to be at family's house until later in the day, so it's morning here, about 10 o'clock, and I'm finally getting a chance to sit down and film. So this might be a short one, maybe. I always say that, and then it never is. um, just so I have time to get some stuff done. But and I don't really have a ton of books to tell you about today, but I do have quite a bit of crafting to tell you about. So, without further ado, let's get to the books. So, since the last time we spoke, I have only finished one book, and that book was quite interesting. It was The Brave by James Bird, and this was the group read for middle grade March. And I had been hearing many mixed things about this book, and I was kind of putting it off. And I actually won this copy from Amanda's channel. They did a giveaway earlier in middle grade March, and I won kind of second place in Amanda's channel. The first person that she that won the giveaway didn't answer her, so she redrew a winner and I won. So I was very excited to get this book. It came with a couple of really cute bookmarks that I'm excited to have in my collection. And this book, I was, like I said, I was a little nervous about it going in, but I was kind of a middle of the road person. Krista had said in one of her lives prior to the group discussion that she was thinking that you're a love it or hate it person. But I was kind of middle of the road. If this had been tagged as a YA book, I probably would have really liked it. I mean, I don't tend to read YA because I don't know. It makes me feel icky to have younger kids in romantic relationships. um, and I mean, and I know it happens. I mean, I was a teenager once myself, but these kids, or at least the main character, is only 12 or 13. And my main issue with the book was that he had kind of it was a fairly innocent romantic relationship with his neighbor girl. It kind of started out as a friendship, but he kind of lusted after her for a lot of the book. And given the situation they were in, the girl that, and this is a spoiler, so you might want to jump ahead a couple seconds. um, the girl he has a relationship with has a terminal illness, and so given that, I kind of understood that maybe their feelings would have been more heightened than normally at that age. But at the same time, it was just, I don't know, kind of felt weird for kids that age, and being that it was marketed as a middle grade book. The other thing relating to relationships that really made me uncomfortable was the relationship between Colin, the main character, his mother, and her boyfriend. They were way too free with their relationship around Colin. I'm not into that. I'm not for that. I feel like your relationship should be a private thing, especially when you're around your 12-year-old that you really haven't known that long, because in this story, the mother had been absent from his life for the last 12 years, and suddenly he finds out that he's being sent to live with his mother. And they have like a perfectly fine mother son relationship the whole time, but uh, but they were a little too familiar with each other, and yeah, it was weird, it was awkward. And given that environment that he lives in at this point, I can see why he himself had romantic feelings at such a young age because, like, if your mom's just talking about being naked with her boyfriend, of course you're going to, think that that's, how you should be. So I was kind of not for that section. So, but the rest of the book I really did enjoy. I thought it was well written. Just those elements I didn't agree with, and then the ending was problematic for someone for disability rep. It was uh, I mean, it was something that maybe kids with disabilities would would think was hopeful, but it's not necessarily realistic. I guess I don't know. I mean, as somebody with a disability myself, I don't know that I would have cared about it when I was little to read how this book ended. I don't think I would have been upset by it, but it, yeah, definitely from a an adult perspective, thinking about the impact it might have on kids with disabilities that aren't going to get better, this might be kind of problematic. But so, all that being said, I gave this 3 stars. I enjoyed it for what it was, and not really knowing anything about some of the diseases and disabilities and even the Native American culture, I didn't find fault with it just based on enjoyment of the book. If I had dived into research a little bit more about all these things, I probably would have found fault with it because I heard a lot of those things from other readers. But just me as somebody just picking up a book to enjoy it, I thought it was enjoyable, except for those rather weird, annoying romantic bits with the mother and her boyfriend. Odd. So that was the only book that I have read completely in the last week. The things that I am currently reading are The Girl from Yam Hill by Beverly Cleary, who, as you may or may not know, died recently at the age of 104. She died at the end of March, I think, um, not too long ago. And my friend Angie decided to host a drop everything and read along for the commemoration of Beverly Cleary's life. And The Girl from Yam Hill is her autobiography. And so far, I am really, really enjoying it. It's really fun. I found it on ebook, so that was so like ebooks are always kind of take me a little while to read, but this is just done in a really easy, lighthearted style. And being that Beverly had such a long life, it is really just fascinating to hear all everything that she has experienced in her long life. So I'm really I'm really liking it so far. And I will link the information to Angie's readathon down below. It is running, I believe, just the first 2 weeks of April until Beverly Cleary and Angie's birthday on April 12th, I believe. So, but I will link it all below if you still want to join. I mean, Beverly Cleary was a middle grade children's author, so if you even pick up 1 or 2 Beverly Cleary books or the autobiography for the next couple of weeks, then you're participating. And then I started a buddy read with my friend Berna from Berna's Bookish Adventures. I will link her channel down below as well. She is a Turkish booktuber, and I've really, really enjoyed getting to know her. And we have been buddy reading the Canadian West series by Jeanette Oak this whole year so far, and we are on book 4 of the Canadian West series, and it is called When Hope Springs New. And in this one, Elizabeth and Wynne have moved to a new territory, and so they have moved far away from all of their friends that we have gotten to know in the last 3 books. And this territory that they've moved to is much more hostile towards the white missionary law people, which, is probably much more realistic to to that situation back then. And yeah, so far at the very beginning of the reading of this book, Berna and I both thought, well, nothing's really happening. It's nice, but we kind of miss the old group of people. But then all of a sudden in yesterday's chapters, like all the things started happening. So it got really intense really fast. And I think this is going to be a really interesting read. I have yet to read my chapters today, so that's kind of why I'm trying to get through this video quickly so that I can get my reading out and message Berna. And I'm still working on The Dead Secret. I did not get it done for the Patreon book club that Kate Howell runs, but I still want to read it because I want to read all of Wilkie Collins. I didn't end up participating in book club after all because after all of my filming that day, I had like so much live things and filming going on. I had a sore throat and I had a headache. So I was just like, you know what? I feel like I need to sit this one out since I didn't finish the book anyways. So I missed seeing all my friends from the Patreon group, but that's okay. I will be there for the social this year or this month. So, but yeah, I will link information to Kate's Patreon if you want to join in that. It's really fun. It's all Victorian literature, and then every other month we have a reading social, and that's been fun too, just to talk about what we all are reading outside of the Victorian Book Club, and just to a lot of us sit there and knit while we're while we're talking to each other. So that's been fun. But yeah, that is all the books at the moment that I'm reading. I probably have a lot more that I need to start in the coming week. I probably have another buddy read coming up this on Monday. I need to look at my schedule. But yeah, hopefully I can not overwhelm myself this month. We'll see. Okay, so next let's talk about crafting. I have a lot more crafting to tell you about this week. First, I'm just going to show you where I am in my Alice cross stitch. I really haven't worked on it at all. I might not have worked on it at all in the last 2 weeks of March. But I did succeed in getting a couple of the charts done. It's like a 28-page pattern. So I was able to get a couple of the side panels done, which I feel like makes it a full chart that I got done in March, which was my goal. So the fact that I didn't get anything done in the last 2 weeks isn't that big of a deal. But so anyway, this is where we are. And yeah, I'm excited to be getting to the border section of it because then I can actually see how big it's going to be. So hopefully I can get some more of it done in April. I need to pick it back up. We'll see. Yesterday, I worked on trying to get my temperature tree up to date through the end of March, and I almost got it. I still have a few more leaves left on the March branch, but mostly it's done. So it's all kind of curled up here, unfortunately, and I'm not a fancy floss tuber that I know how to make that be straighter. But yeah, I'm really loving how this is turning out so far. So I like how you can definitely tell how varied the weather in Pennsylvania is because there's a lot of different colors on these leaves already. So I like seeing that though. I think that's cool. And there's an awful lot of pink right there in the end of January and February, meaning that it was super duper cold. And then if you saw my thumbnail, I got the face done on Hedwig. Isn't he adorable? This, I'm going to say, was a pain in the tuchus to like shape, and yeah. And it does not look like the fancy picture that's in the Magic of Knitting book. I do not know how they did that. But but I just love her little expression. It's so funny. And I think it'll be perfect for my coworker's daughter. I think she'll think it's adorable, hopefully. So, but man, those eyes. I mean, they ain't coming off for nothing. So, they're safety eyes. So they're gonna be good for my coworker's daughter. But I had to take them off a couple different times to reposition them. And goodness, I had to use pliers. It was a big deal. I broke a nail. So the other thing, I kind of lost a toe. I don't know what happened here. So I'm kind of just leaving it in there for now until I can get back to it because I'll have to pick up stitches so that I don't unravel the toe, this part of the toe. Because that would be, I don't know how I'd fix that. So I think this should be fairly easy to fix, but only if I can pick up the stitches that I need to and not lose them. But yeah, I love her little face. And then I still was not happy with the original yarn that I had picked up, so I ordered some more, and I got it yesterday. And let's see if I can. And I did one of the little wings, and I think it might be a little bit big, but yeah, I think this will be good for a hedgewig, for a snowy owl look. So she will have an underwing that will kind of come down here and kind of hide these weird little tail feathers down here. So it looks like it's maybe a little bit big, so my gauge might be a little bit off, but I'm not gonna be too worried about it because it can be long wings, right? Who cares? So so yeah, I'm finally happy with the way this is turning out. Yay! And I think that his daughter will enjoy it, hopefully. And oh, also, the amount of yarn that I got is like enough for 10 additional hedgewigs. So sometime in the future, I may make one that can stay with me because I also have like 10 more sets of eyeballs. So now that I know how to make this and I have a full pillow's worth of stuffing because I just ripped open an old pillow to make the stuffing. So I have plenty that I could make another hedgewig, but I probably won't do that for a while. I need a break from the tiny little stitches of Aragorn. And then lastly, I finally started my White Horse sweater by Caitlin Hunter. I'm so excited about it. I was unable to get the original green yarn from Knit Picks that I wanted, so I ordered some off of the dreaded Amazon. I know, but it came in the other day, and I forgot to bring like the ball band up. But this is the color. That's pretty true to color, I would say. And this is where I am so far. And I think it's kind of scrunched up, of course, but I'm really loving this lace section. It's going to be a top down called a raglan. So this is the head, the neck, not the head, the neck. And then these will be the top section. So yeah, it's kind of, I'm learning a lot with this, which is good because there is a knit along going on at the moment with the Cozy Moth knits, and it is, I think, what's it called? Spring into, I forget what it's called, but I will link it below. But it's all about basically learning new skills. And I've definitely learned some new skills with this lace section. I knew how to do baubles before, which are these little ball thingies that are on here. But some of the other stitches I had to look up because I didn't know what they meant. But yeah, it's really turning out to be a really pretty pattern. So I'm excited, yay! And I think this will go over my head. I hope so. I did have to rip it out once already because the neck hole was really just too tiny for my big noggin. So, but yeah, I'm really pleased with how this is turning out so far. Yay! And the only other thing I thought I would share with you is my recent yarn haul, which isn't, I mean, aside from the green yarn that I got for my sweater, I made a frivolous, spontaneous, fancy yarn purchase from Forbidden Fiber Co. And this is her Midsummer Night's Dream colorway from her Shakespeare collection. And I couldn't resist. If you don't know, Midsummer Night's Dream is my all-time favorite Shakespeare play. I've been in productions of it twice, and never in my dream role, but oh well, that's fine. um, but yeah, as soon as I saw this come up on her Instagram, I freaking love this color, and it was called Midsummer Night's Dream. So, yay, I had to get it. So, it's from, as you can see, Forbidden Fiber Co. And this is the same brand of yarn that is in my Hufflepuff colorway that I've been knitting my the cow out of, which I didn't bring up here today because I didn't work on it at all this week because I got obsessed with my sweater and with Hedwig. So, but yeah, I just love this, and I don't know if it's in sock yarn, but same as my Hufflepuff yarn, but my feet are really small, so it never really takes a lot of yarn to make myself socks. So that's kind of why I've been doing cowls. So I might try to find a fun other one skein cowl pattern or shawl pattern to do. So, yay! So as far as random chatter, there's not a lot. The weather here has been very all over the place, as you saw from my temperature tree. Just yesterday, it was maybe in the 30s Fahrenheit, 40s maybe, and today it's supposed to be close to 70 on Easter Sunday, which is great for Easter egg hunts, but it's probably going to wreak havoc on my sinuses. I'm not gonna lie. But that's just what you come to expect for March and April, and sometimes May in Western Pennsylvania. So, no big deal, but it's just kind of been all over the place. But it has been sunny. So even though we still have cold temperatures, it isn't as gray as it had been, throughout the winter. So that's a plus. And I'm choosing joy in that area. Oh, and speaking of that, it is Easter Sunday, which means Lent is over. And I participated in I didn't participate, I was in the comments for the live stream of John Plowman's talks by Spurgeon. And I had been reading that off and on. I wasn't really that great with sticking to their schedule, but with a read-along group hosted by Christy Lewis from Dostoevsky in Space, and the channel Raised to Walk, and a musical bookworm, and I think that was all the official hosts, but also Alan from the Library of Alexandria was on the live stream, and it was just I was late to the party, as I always am, but it was a really great discussion, and it really got me in the spirit to start reading some more religious texts, and diving a little deeper into some Christian speakers and authors and things that I've kind of been neglecting for the last few years. So that's been a good outcome of Lent this year. And let's see, what else? Oh, big news. But not really. But my coworker, who has been on maternity leave for the last 8 weeks, is coming back on Monday. So that is good for me in that I finally feel like I can take some time off. Yay! Because, if I'm sick, that's one thing. I just, especially in this current climate. If I have a sniffle or anything, I have to stay home, basically. So probably in the last 2 months, I've taken one sick day because I had a sore throat one day and thought might be allergies, might be the Rona. So I wasn't sure. It was just allergies, FYI. But as far as I know, anyway. So yeah, I've taken one day off basically in the past 2 months, and I am ready for a break. So I think I'm going to take a long weekend next weekend, hopefully, as long as she doesn't have any reason that I can't take a couple days off, which I hope at this point, her just coming back, she won't. But and yeah, I'm very excited to not go to work for a while. Even if it's just 2 days, I don't care. Oh man. But yeah, so that's exciting for me to finally have my help back. So yeah, that's really all I have to talk about in Random Chatter. So, all right, friends, if you celebrate, I hope you have a happy Easter. If I get this up before the end of Easter, if not, happy Monday. But yeah, I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, friends.